everyone, Amanda here, thanks for joining. If you are new, please do hit the subscribe button, and whether you are new or returning, please do check that notification bell, click it, go up to all and make sure you select all so that you see any new uploads. So I'm on with my altered playing cards for the challenge that I host in my Facebook group Create with Scrimpingmommy. The link for that is in the description box below, along with all my other billions of links for stuff. This week's prompt that I came up with is food. So I'm doing a set of 4. We're on week 11, so we've only got another 2 weeks. I think we've only got another 2 weeks and we're done. We've done them all, so I'll do a video at the end of the, the full challenge and share all of my cards all in one go. Yeah, it's been really nice. So you can join now. There's a list in the group giving you all of the prompts of all of the weeks, so you could catch up, you could do them at your leisure, you could do one for each week, you could just do this week, you can just watch. It's totally up to you. So I have printed, well, I've scanned in and printed a sheet of this lovely picture of puddings, and this has come from the Harmsworth Household Encyclopedia, and I have shared this image over on my group for free. It's in the files, and the image that I've shared is actually the full A4. I've printed it out to a page. So there you go. I've also left a little quick live video for anybody that doesn't know how to change something that is on an A4 size and print it out to a page or 4 to a page to make them smaller. So anyway, I'm going to be fussy cutting some of these, I think, and altering my cards. I'm going to do it in fast forward with a voiceover. I'm sorry if it seems jumpy. The transition function on iMovie seems to have disappeared, so I can't do that where it fades in and out. It won't let me. So yeah. Anyway, here we go. Off we go. We'll probably start with gessoing. I'll be back shortly. Okay, so we're off. We start with dry brushing some gesso onto these lovely cards. So they've got a plastic coating. It just helps me adhere whatever I want to adhere onto there. So yeah, quick dry, and then we're going to mess about with some Tim Holtz Distress Oxide sprays. I did want a kind of orange and lime kind of a theme to my background, so I've selected what I've got, what colours I've got in my collection, and just started spraying. I didn't end up with the colour that I wanted. It wasn't as vibrant as I wanted. Maybe I should have kept going and kept trying, but I think you can add too many layers and end up with a muddy kind of a look, so I resisted the urge to just keep on and keep on and keep on forever and a day. So I started with antique linen. I've used squeezed lemonade and one with marigold. I'm really terrible at remembering the names of things, I do apologise. So I just keep adding those colours. And I do end up with one that I'm happy with, although they're not as vibrant as I'd like. And then I keep adding bits of water from my spray bottle, because I like to have that kind of a raindrop look. So yeah, it's the good thing about the playing cards is it's a small surface, and if it don't go brilliantly to plan, it's no big drama. And it's a great way to experiment with mixed media and play with things like sprays and paints and things like that, and different kinds of effects, and have a go. And then it's like you're giving yourself little lessons in what works and what doesn't work. And so then you can take that forward into either your art journaling or onto larger projects, or even if you do things like this, ATCs or altered postcards, things like that in the future, then you're going to build yourself a little catalogue of knowledge inside your own little brain of knowing what does and what doesn't work, which is why I always try different things every week. I don't stick to the same thing. I always try different techniques and different colours. Alright, so I'm going to layer on some book page, and this is taken from Mrs. Beeston's Household Management, which is a Victorian style kind of household management manual. It's a reprint, it's not original, so I don't mind ripping it up. and I'm edging it there with spiced marmalade, which I thought would give me a nice vibrant orange colour, and that one's actually really nice. It is a nice and bright colour, is that one. I've only got it in the mini and in the distress ink, but that's quite a cool colour. So once I find a technique that works, I tend to do my 4 cards all in the same kind of way, so that you're not having to think of 4 different things to do. And then you've got a kind of a coordination, so it's kind of obvious that they're a set, that they go together. So if they got mixed up, you'd know which ones went with which. Then I've fussy cut some of the images from the larger image that I showed you at the beginning, which is free for you to print out over on my Facebook group. Just added them kind of at an angle so they'd fit. Yeah, I quite enjoyed finding these images, and I love fussy cutting. I could do it all day long, and I'm getting quite good at it. So these are quite neat and tidy. I was quite pleased with that. So then, in my wisdom, I decided to play with my new Inktense black pencil. Now these are watercolour pencils, but they're quite expensive for what they are. But the pigment in them is amazing, and a lesson that I'll take away from this is that I was too heavy-handed with it. You only need a really tiny bit. So I'm there fair scribbling away, and I really didn't need that much on there, because they are reactive with water. So then when I've gone in with the paintbrush, it's far too much ink there, far too much. So I'll know next time to be a lot lighter with Inktense pencils. I only wanted a little bit of an outline and not a great big black smudge, but you know, it is what it is. We'll learn, and we will know next time. And the good thing about those is that once that is dry, it won't react with water. So then I've gone for a nice simplistic edging, which is a wavy line, going in one direction, and then you go back over it going the other way. I love putting this border on my cards. It's easy, it's quick, and you don't need any level of skill to do it, and it does actually look really cool. Faux stitching's another good one, but this is nice and quick. And I think it's important to give your cards a border to make them look like they're finished, and it draws the eye to the centre of the cards, to the focal points of your decoration. So once I'd done this, in my wisdom, I decided that in between my wavy lines, where there's the little gaps, I'd colour them with an alcohol marker. It was a good idea at the time, until I realised that the pen that I did the wavy lines with wasn't an alcohol marker. So that meant that my coloured alcohol marker was lifting out the colour of the pen I'd used on the wavy lines. So there's another lesson learned. I need to, if I'm going to colour with an alcohol marker, I need to use something that's colour safe, i.e. another alcohol black marker, so that it doesn't draw the colour away. But you live and learn. So that's another lesson that I've taught myself today. So the next stage, I decided I just wanted to add something to, you know, add a little bit touches of light, because it was turning out dark. A lot of my work does. It ends up quite vintage and quite dark. It just seems to be how my brain works. I don't know why, but I just go with it now and try and lift it a little bit with these dots of white gesso. And I'm just using, it's actually a scoring tool that I'm using there, to dot gesso on there, kind of randomly around the edge. And this is, I have found that this is the best way to add white highlights to your mixed media, is to just use gesso and a small tool, rather than, say for example, Posca pens, which are designed for this, and I wouldn't waste my money on those again. I shall just use gesso and a little tool like this if I need it on my mixed media, and it just adds a little bit of interest, and I think it does add, you know, bring a little bit of light to the project. And with me, it's kind of like, how many different techniques can you fit on a playing card? That should have been the name of the challenge, because I end up doing about 50 layers and about 10 million techniques. But it's fun, you know, and I just keep going until literally I'm happy with how it's looking. Sometimes that might only take two 2 or 3 different things, and sometimes I just have to keep going until it looks right in my mind. So then I'm edging with the spiced marmalade. Now, with it being a distress ink, it's still quite subtle. I really wanted a really vibrant orange edge there, but it wasn't happening today. You know, maybe I need some more things in my collection to get the results that I want. So that's not down to my lack of experience or technique. That's down to the fact that I don't have every colour that there is in the world in my collection, unfortunately. So if that happens with you, don't get frustrated, just go with it. It doesn't matter, you know, if things don't turn out 100%, these are just for fun. Nobody else is going to see them but me. So then I'm adding some of the words, well, and all you lot, of course, as well, that are watching. Then I'm adding the words which the lovely Karen made for us, which are all food related. There's a lot of food names and fruits and things on there. And I've selected the kind of generic ones. Scrumptious, I think I've got on there. Dessert, things like that. So I'm just adding them on with a glue stick, I beg your pardon. I've not sealed the paper or anything on the card. I've just left it as it is. I didn't feel it was necessary this week to seal it. Okay. So I'm starting to get happy with them now. I'm starting to get, whereas it's coming together and the finishing touches are going on, that I'm getting where I like them, and that seems to happen to me every week. I don't always like my cards until they're actually fully finished. So I decided that I do want something to lift and reflect the light and add a little bit of sparkle, because I'm a Leo. I've said it before, I'm a bit of a chav. Anything that glitters, I love it. Bit of sparkle and I'm there. So I in seriousness, I need to use these gems up as well. I hate waste. So I'm using these up, even though they're Christmas ones. I just think that the colours go nice, and that completes my cards for this week. So I hope you've enjoyed them. I hope you'll come on over to the group and join us. Thanks for watching. Bye.